The Democrats are basically abandoning Joe Biden. And I can't blame them. They shouldn't have picked him in the first place. Joe Biden only narrowly has any kind of appeal that would result in someone voting for him. And the reality is that most people just voted against Donald Trump. So now that we're entering the next election cycle, we can see the longevity of Joe Biden was short-lived. And for this, we are seeing many people rise up, namely Gavin Newsom in the prediction markets. But the polling suggests that RFK Jr. is actually in second place. Now, why is this? Well, a new poll has come out discussing issues that we face today in the culture war. And lo and behold, guess what? Democrats do not agree with the Democratic Party's position on these issues. That is to say, the Democrats are embracing leftism and woke ideology that regular people do not care for. I love this story from the Washington Post. RFK Jr. is surging only in polls among Republicans. Really? Okay, sure. Take a look at the prediction market. Who will win the 24 Democratic nomination? Joe Biden, of course, has 67 cents. I think it's a fair bet because we don't even know if there's going to be a primary or what the plan is. Gavin Newsom is a fair bet, but Robert Kennedy Jr. is skyrocketing, now at 13 cents. And in the polls, he's hitting nearly 20%. If Donald Trump embraces RFK Jr., and a lot of people have talked about a potential Trump-Kennedy ticket, which seems like a long shot, a pipe dream, doubt it's going to happen. But that could steal a large portion of Democrats away from the Democratic Party, and they may end up voting Republican. Of course, the Washington Post is saying it's only Republicans supporting RFK Jr. And to be fair, there are a lot of Republicans and moderates who are supporting him. But take a look at this poll from Political Polls. Do you think that Joe Biden is the strongest candidate that Democrats could nominate for president in 2024? Yes, he is. Say 20%. Wow. No, he is not. Say 61%. That's amazing. Even among Democrats, Joe Biden only hits around 40%, with 36% saying no. That's amazing. Dude, the Democrats are in serious trouble. And this Substack article breaks it down in a rather interesting way. I'd like to read for you this so you can understand, guess what? You, my friends, watching this at home, you're the regular person. You're the average American. What the media is portraying is a lie. Wokeness is not popular. It never has been. But there's institutional capture because of clever activists. The average person is saying enough. And if the Democrats embrace this, they lose. Don't take my word for it. Let me show you this NBC News article. Most Americans oppose including trans athletes in sports, poll finds. Really? Well, that's strange. I was told only fascists disagree with that agenda. But maybe the reality is institutions are captured by loud, angry activists, and they think because of commercial endeavors of major corporations, this is what Americans want. And then they're surprised to find things like Loudoun County. No, parents don't want this stuff around their kids. Check out this story. Rai Teixeira says, on Tuesday, John Halpern introduced our new survey project on the important issues and political ideas shaping the 24 presidential election. He recounted some of the findings. He says, I'll do the same here. Taking immigration first, we asked voters to choose from three options. 1, people around the world have a right to claim asylum, and America should welcome more immigrants to the country. 2, America needs to secure its borders and create more legal and managed immigration paths. And 3, America needs to close its borders to outsiders and reduce all levels of immigration. Under a quarter chose the first option. That is, people around the world have a right to claim asylum. Only 24% agreed with that. Check this out. Emphasizing the right to asylum, admitting more immigrants, which is closely associated with the Democratic Party. By far, the most popular option was the second one, emphasizing border security and skilled migration. 59% favored. Only 17 wanted the draconian issue. And you know what? How much do you want to bet? Most of you watching would take a similar approach. We must secure our borders, and we can create legal managed paths to immigration. That's been my position the whole time. I say this. Everyone should come to America. Every single person in the world. That's right. All 8 billion. But they got to come here legally. And you know what that means? It means they won't be allowed to. It means that the people who apply and get approved so we can manage economically the admission of these immigrants, then they can come in, but it will be controlled because, let's be honest, 8 billion people would destroy the country. You can't maintain a system like that. That's why you need secure borders and legal systems. Now, check this one out. turning to climate and energy. 1, we need a rapid green transition. 2, we need an all of the above strategy. And 3, we need to stop the push to replace domestic oil. Once again, the Democratic identified first position, emphasizing ending the use of fossil fuels, was embraced by only 29% of voters. Amazing. The most popular position is the second. Hey, look at that. Moderate approaches. Yes, I agree. We want oil and gas. We want renewables. We want nuclear power. We want to be energy independent. I think the most interesting thing was the issue on transgender individuals, because this is one of the core tenets of wokeness right now. And this is the one that shows you how out of touch the left is, because this one gets interesting. Check this out. The distance from the center is even more obvious when we take a look at voter views on transgender controversies. Here are 3 choices we offered voters. 1, states should protect all trans youth by providing access to puberty blockers and transition surgeries if desired, and allowing them to participate fully in all activities and sports as the gender of their choice. Number 2, states should protect the rights of transgender adults to live as they want, but implement stronger regulations on puberty blockers, trans surgeries, and sports participation for trans minors. Or number 3, states should ban all gender transition treatments for minors and stop discussion of gender ideology in schools. The first position, emphasizing availability of medical treatments for transgender children and sports participation directed by gender self-identification, is unquestionably the default position of the Democratic Party today. Indeed, to dissent in any way from this position in Democratic circles is enough to earn one of the sobriquet of hateful bigot or worse. Yet only about a quarter, 26% of voters endorse this position. Indeed, the most popular position of the 3 is the most draconian, that medical treatments for trans kids should be banned, as should discussion of gender ideology in public schools. That's embraced by 41% of voters. Another third of voters favor the second position, advocating stronger regulation. Together, the latter 2 positions make it 3-1 among all voters against the Democratic position. That's right. You are the regular person. Now, why is it then that YouTube would censor us? Why is it that these big tech companies would shut down our videos, delete our speech? They do not represent this country. These are captured institutions. You know what? This is why we're winning. Because they live in a fake bubble world. They live in this world where they've crafted a reality of their own refuse. I've talked about this with Jack Dorsey. Once Twitter was the free speech wing of the free speech party. And then he created this prominent network of verified journalists who all started crapping in each other's mouths. A sewer of deranged information circling among themselves, not among the general public. And he started consuming that information in his own circles. He plagued his own mind and then started enforcing policies based upon his plagued mind. And what happened? An implosion. Donald Trump emerges. People were sick and tired of this. Take a look at this. A mere 18% of moderate voters back the Democratic position. In contrast, a healthy 47% favor the stronger regulation of trans medical treatments. Another 35% wants trans treatments banned for children. That's amazing. 35% of moderates say ban it outright. Surprised? I'm not. The rather startling unpopularity of Democratic positions in these areas and their obvious distance from the views of the electoral center raises the question of where these unpopular views came from. Part of the answer is that not all Democrats have been enthusiasts for these positions, but the ones that have been punch way above their weight in the party. I can answer that question for you. It's a correlation. It's a relationship. You see, big tech promotes content that advocates for these views. Democratic politicians seeking more viewership and more popularity will advocate for these views, creating a cycle where people like AOC say insane things, gain more followers, become more prominent, causing big tech to favor this view once again in an ever increasing spiral of insanity. There were hearings on social media, and Republicans asked Twitter why it is that when you log into Twitter, it default recommends Democrat politicians. They didn't have an answer. Now our algorithm just does it. And there it is. This is what is creating the psychosis in people today. We talked about a story the other day. A doctor was posting videos of surgeries on TikTok. These people are insane. Remember all the dancing nurses during COVID? Dancing on the corpses of the COVID dead? I'm not even exaggerating. One of the videos of the dancing, they were carrying a fake body with a toe tag and they were dancing. That's psychotic. Absolute psychotic derangement. Dancing in a hospital. There's one video where people are filming them do this dance and they're like, what's going on? Is this why we can't get treatment? What are they doing? Now imagine being a regular person, as you are. Your arm's broken. They're saying you're going to have to wait, sir. And then you see a bunch of nurses dancing and doing stupid TikTok garbage. Wow. Yeah, you're going to be like, what is happening to this country? That's what's happening in this country. Social media has made these people insane. The Democratic Party now espouses views that make no sense, that nobody supports, and they're hoping that their influence grows on these platforms and the younger generation adopts these views. I don't think so. The sound of freedom is winning. Apps like Public Square are taking over. So, I don't see them winning. They're aborting and sterilizing their kids. Okay, the end result is obvious. This is why Joe Biden is being rejected for a variety of reasons. This is why RFK Jr. is rising in the polls. Is RFK Jr. perfect? Absolutely not. He's actually fairly bad in a lot of ways. No joke. That's policies. But I'd rather see him lead the Democratic Party than Joe Biden. I want to see people snap out of the spell of the algorithmic nightmare. Maybe we'll see it. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.